Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm David Higdon, Global Head of Communications for Riot Games in esports. And we're here today in the press conference room of the six-time NBA champion Golden State Warriors. On the stand here for our special announcements will be John Needham, President of Esports at Riot Games, Naz Al-Taha, Global Head of League of Legends Esports, Chris Greeley, Head of Esports in North America as well as Oceania Pacific, and Martin Blackare, Head of Esports in Latin America. So before we get started, I wanted to recognize our special hosts, Brandon Schneider, the president of the Golden State Warriors, actually took us on a tour of this amazing venue just about an hour or so ago. Thank you for that. We also have Kirk Jacob here, Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations as well. So thank you to the Golden State Warriors and the Chase Center executives for hosting us today. Also in the room, some special guests from the League of Legends universe. We have Licorice, top laner for the Golden Guardians, the hometown favorites here. We also have Huhi, support for 100 Thieves in the LCS. We have some talent with us as well. Azael, commentator and analyst. Hails from Toronto, so feel free to ask him all Canadian questions today. And we also have Kobe, our commentator and analyst as well, fresh from Dallas, the Esports Awards, where I'm pretty sure he didn't take a nap at all. Maybe he slept a little bit, but he's very special, and we're glad he's here. So before I turn it over to John, though, I wanted again to thank the Golden State Warriors for hosting us today for obviously a big announcement in the world of esports and specifically for Riot Games. So I will now turn it over to El Presidente, John Needham.
Thank you very much, David. And thank you again, Golden State Warriors and all the personnel here at Chase Center. I'm a huge NBA fan, so this is a great moment for me to kind of geek out at another aspect of my life that I really love. So we just finished our 11th season of League of Legends esports. We had Worlds in Reykjavik, Iceland. It was an amazing tournament where we crowned Edward Gaming, a team out of our China League, the LPL, world champion for 2021. Our runner-up this year was Damwon Kia Gaming out of Korea. They were actually our champion last year, so they made it to finals 2 consecutive years. We just had a really great competition all around, a great show. And we had the biggest Worlds ever, and one of the big announcements we wanted to make today, we got viewership numbers in a couple of days ago, and our average minute audience, this is the average audience every minute of finals, was 30.6 million for this year's Worlds, which is a new record for us. It's 33% higher than last year, which was a record for us as well. And our peak concurrent viewership, our peak viewership during finals was 73.8 million people. That again, a record for us, 60% higher than last year, which was our previous record. So we're super proud of that and just humbled by the support that we have from our fans. You know, we have had to pivot many times this year with many of our events because of COVID, and they've really hung with us. And, you know, thank you to the global esports crew and all the regional esports crews at League for just producing amazing shows. So we had a lot of firsts this year. This was the first time that EDG has won a championship. It was the first time that we had both #1 seeds coming into the tournament, making it to finals. And it was the first time during finals since 2016 that we actually went 5 games. And that is a great segue into why we're all here today to talk about 2022 Worlds. And let me turn it over to Naz Al-Taha to share some more news with you. Thank you.
Thank you, John. And thank you all for being here, everyone who's joining us remotely. I'm Naz Al-Taha. I'm the global head of League of Legends, and we're very excited to be here today to share some more exciting news in addition to the incredible results that we just saw from our 2021 World Championship. It's a great time for us to be here. I think the excitement and the momentum around League of Legends esports is really at an all-time high. And so there's really just no better time or place to share, what we're going to be doing for our 2022 World Championships. We are returning to North America for the first time since 2016. And we're going to be doing a full continental tour, which we're really, really excited about. So we'll be kicking things off with our play-ins in Mexico City, which is where our LATAM League is based, where our beautiful LLA arena is. Our groups and quarterfinals rounds will be held in New York City at the Hulu Theater in Madison Square Garden. I was actually just there on Thursday and got to visit the facility, and it's a great facility, and our partners at MSG are, I think just as excited as we are for us to take an event back to New York since we were there last in 2016 and previous to that in 2015. For our 2022 semifinals, we will be going to Toronto at the Scotiabank Arena. We're really excited because we know the Raptors are here today. I think they're probably warming up or gearing up right now to hit the hardwood. And finally, I'm very excited to announce that the 2022 World Finals will be taking place right here at the state-of-the-art Chase Arena in San Francisco. And so we thought this was a perfect night to make this announcement with the Warriors playing the Raptors today. They're representing the two cities where we'll hold our final two stages of Worlds next year. And we just think that this is the perfect moment to really kick off the countdown to the 2022 World Championships. So just a huge thank you to the folks here at Chase Center. You've been incredible hosts. We cannot wait to really culminate our 12th World Championship with you here. And lastly, and always to our fans here in North America, to the fans all around the world, League of Legends esports is where it is because of them today. So a huge thank you to them. So yeah, we are ready to kick off the 2022 season. Let's go. Mr. Greeley, over to you.
Yeah. So Naz mentioned 2016 at Madison Square Garden. That was my very first in-person esports event, the semifinals that were held there that year. And I grew up in the area. I had been in and out of that building for, 20, 25 years at that point. And I have never felt so much energy and electricity in a building from the fans as I did when I was sitting in the stands for that weekend's games. And it was, for me, my aha moment, right? You would hear the entire crowd gasp, and Madison Square Garden was just absolutely silent, or you would hear the huge pop of energy and the whole place would shake. And since then, I've been incredibly fortunate to attend our events all over the world and stand next to fans or sponsors or team owners who were experiencing that for their first time, right? And they were having their aha moment. So next year, between the LCS, which is our North American League, between our LCS finals, which will take place in Houston in April, we'll have a second show in August at a still soon-to-be-announced venue and location, and the four great locations that Naz just ran through. We are incredibly excited to bring that energy and excitement to all the fans across North America, whether they are grizzled veterans who have been to our events over and over, or whether they're those first-time fans that are going to get their aha moment. So we couldn't be any more excited, and I think we're going to have a great year. Martin?
Yeah. Thanks, Chris. Well, thank you, everyone. We're extremely excited that we're going to bring this very global event to Latin America for the first time. This is something that our fans have been asking for ever since we began over 10 years ago. And I think it's going to be this unique experience for all our players, all our fans, to sort of cement the idea that Riot is completely invested in just creating this global event. And Mexico being part of that is going to be unique. We have some amazing experiences set up for next year. So yeah, we're very, very happy to be a part of this. And sort of to segue to that, I'm going to do this in Spanish as well for our fans all over Latin America. Bueno, muchísimas gracias a todos. La verdad que esto es un momento único, es un hito totalmente revolucionario en el mundo de los esports. Nuestros fanáticos nos han estado pidiendo que tengamos un evento global por primera vez en Latinoamérica y 2022 va a ser esa primera oportunidad en donde realmente vamos a cambiar el mundo y también vamos a mandar un mensaje muy fuerte de que Riot está muy interesado en seguir creciendo lo que son los esports y nuestra fanaticada y nuestra relación con nuestros jugadores. Así que sí, es un momento único y estamos realmente muy contentos.
Gracias.
Thank you.
I butchered his name, so at least I would go with a thank you. So thank you all for joining us, and Martin touched on the global nature of our sport. We actually have dozens, if not more than that, media from around the world who are joining us. So those of you here in the room, if you look at the back screen, this is how we actually have been doing our press conferences throughout all of worlds. So we're getting people from China, Korea, Berlin, all over the place that follow our sport, a very global sport that you'll be able to see and enjoy when we return here next fall. So we'll start with questions from the room. So just please hold up your hand and I will recognize you. If you will please direct a question to a particular individual, that would also be helpful. Please identify yourself by your name and your outlet. Go ahead, sir.
You were in Iceland. I have to ask, given that you guys are announcing them as, play-ins, group stage, quarters, the stages we are very familiar with, should fans expect there to not be any changes in the format in 2022?
We're looking at it, Travis. So we have no update to share today, but it's definitely something, like we said during Worlds this year, that we're committed to looking at. We want to figure out the best format. Again, we're trying to balance and optimize for a variety of variables. I will say that we had our venues and our 2022 plans set already when we received that feedback and those insights, but that won't preclude us from definitely diving in and taking a look at it.
It's only been 2 weeks, Travis.
Thanks, Travis. Next question here.
For John.
Name and outlet, please.
Significance of holding it in San Francisco, a tech, kind of God's start in this city, the idea of bringing back gaming to this city?
Yeah, look, we're all North American, except for Martin up here. It's been a while since we've been in North America, and we love to do these events almost on a rotational basis through all of our big regions. We've wanted to do events in North America for the past few years, but because of COVID and travel restrictions, we just haven't been able to. So we're just really excited to be here because it'll have been 6 years, and we've got a very passionate player base here, and in particular concentrated around San Francisco. So we're all about the fans and servicing our fans, and I just pray that we can have a live audience and we can fill that beautiful arena out there with all of our fans. So that's the significance.
Thanks. Parks? And then I'll go to you, Dean.
Parks from Upcomer. I'm going to address mine back to you, John.
Right.
I have a follow-up for that. Obviously, we're all very hopeful that we get fans in and that we get
Yes.
the press in, of course. You all decided to do 3 different countries. And so I wanted to ask you about that. Given, obviously, COVID-19,
Yeah.
it's been difficult to get visas. What is the plan to make sure that everything gets to stay as you have it planned now? We don't have to have a last-minute, venue change, things like that. How are we going to do all of that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're just not in control. So our first priority is throwing a very safe competition. We've done that very successfully over the past few years. I mean, this year with Valorant Champions, the first 2 weeks of December, we'll have done more international events than we've ever produced before, and we've done them all safely. So this is the plan of record right now that Naz just announced, and that will be the plan unless we get to a place where we can't do it safely.
Go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So I think we saw a really scary and disappointing first week of Worlds and a really exciting second week of Worlds this year that I think gave everyone a lot of hope. We were taking games off of the LPL. I don't think anyone was touching the LCK during the groups phase. So we've not only seen continued competitive growth from teams in North America, but I think a lot of the changes that we've made in our amateur and developmental system over the last year or two are starting to pay dividends. So when you look at rosters as they're being constructed, I think we're seeing more new talent that is entering the league than we've ever seen before, and a lot of it is coming out of our amateur and academy system. So I think there is a lot of hope on our side that the region will continue to improve. We're also taking efforts on our side. We are working on something called Champions Queue that'll provide a low latency matchmaking opportunity and experience for professional players who are all on the West Coast, pretty distant from our servers in Chicago. And we hope that those practice environments continue to raise the level of play across North America. And in terms of fandom, I think when you look at not only the continued popularity of the LCS, especially our road shows, the viewership that John announced a little while ago, which did see, I believe, an increase in North American audience, and then events that we have coming out, such as Arcane. I think you're going to see a lot of folks who are either entering or returning to the League of Legends universe, and there's no better time to do it than when Worlds is coming back to North America in 2022.
Okay, we'll take a question from the global media that are joining via video conference. Brenna?
Yes, have a question for Martin from Alejandro Sandoval from Genix Esports. For Martin, what's the feeling in Riot Latam about being the first wildcard region to host Worlds? And when did the planning start for this multinational tour?
Well, I'm extremely excited, and I think I talk for everyone in Latin America, not only the Riot team who has been working tirelessly to get this done for over 7 years now, but for every single fan and player in our very, very big region. And this has been something that we've been working with the global team for a couple of months now, making sure that we're prepared and that we can make the most out of this event. So yeah, we're extremely excited, we're pumped, and we're gonna definitely kill it next year.
I have some more questions from the global media. This one is from Jay Silver with Game Elevate. This one is for John or Naz. COVID pending, is there going to be a backup plan similar to how we shifted from China to EU? And if so, can you share that detail?
Sure. Well, we don't have information to share about where we would pivot if we had to pivot. What I will say is that, we're going to remain nimble. The most important thing for us is first, the safety and welfare of the events and the pros and everyone kind of working the events. And second is that we can deliver a world championship for our fans. That this year was, those two were kind of our top goals. Is we really want to deliver Worlds, and we want to do it in a way that's still the spectacle that we promise. And even though fans can't be there in our arenas, we want to make it an amazing experience for the tens of millions of fans who do want to tune in and watch from home. And so we'll be sure to keep everybody posted if there are pivot plans that are caused by COVID. But right now we are laser focused on North America, 3-country, 4-city tour.
Great. Another question is from Ara Hernandez for Martin. Can you give a little more details about the event in Mexico? Have you decided on the venue?
Yes, we will be hosting the venue in our LLA arena, which is in Mexico City. We're really excited. It's where we've been hosting the LLA for a couple of years now. COVID hasn't let us be there as much as we would have hoped to, but it's an amazing venue. We can do all sort of amazing stuff and amazing experiences for our players. So yeah, pretty hyped.
Any other questions in the room here? Yes, Martine?
Hi, Martine Paris, TechCrunch. Hi, so do you have a sense of the date of when you're going to be in San Francisco in 2022 and what you're expecting peak concurrence to be? I think you said 78 million, is that right?
For this last year, 73.8 million peak concurrents.
We haven't announced the exact dates yet. We will soon, but it will be around the time that it traditionally, is, which is the finals being in early November.
Travis?
Travis from Travis Capital Industries. I assume, Chris, you're probably the person to direct this to, but if anybody else wants to pick it up, why Chase Center for finals?
Actually, Naz, you want to?
Why not Chase Center for finals, Travis?
Have you seen the screens out there?
Yeah, I mean, look, this arena is just unbelievable. Like John said, we were out there like asking all these techie questions. What's the resolution on this screen? It's a beautiful arena. And, you know, I think someone earlier asked a question of the significance of San Francisco. You know, for us, anytime we're choosing our venues, we really look to take the event somewhere where we know there's a high player and fan population, because we really are looking to bring these events to as many of our fans as possible. So San Francisco, of course, being one of those places in North America. And then I think you can see the rest of the stops on the tour as well, you know, have a high density of League of Legends fans. So that's really what drives the decision making, where I know our events team and our production teams are very excited about the technology that they will have access to in this building, for sure.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you know, most times we go into an arena and we basically have to rebuild the interior to be able to support what we need for our tournaments. Having an ultra-modern facility like this is a huge advantage.
And you just can't find better hosts than the Golden State Warriors, long-term partners of the LCS, as well as our friends at Madison Square Garden as we look across to the Hulu Theater as well. So it definitely helps.
Question in the room?
Hi, John Popko, Invent Global. Just as a general question, as a follow-up to that, what about the reasoning behind the Scotiabank Arena?
Yeah, look, we are really excited about this particular Worlds in North America, because it's the first time that we're actually landscaping all of NA. So the previous two times we've had Worlds in North America, which was in 2013 and 2016, it was 100% within the United States. And so this will be the first time that you'll have a stop in Mexico, you'll have a stop in Canada, and you'll have two stops, one on the East Coast and one on the West Coast for the US. So again, in an effort to really take our biggest events to as many of our fans within a region as possible, you know, that's what drove the decision making behind each of those stops.
And in 2016, we had the LCS finals at Scotiabank, then the ACC. I think when you talk to most folks who have been around the LCS for any amount of time, they'll tell you that was the best show that our production team has ever put on. We had the loudest fans. It was one of the best broadcast experiences we've ever had. So we have an awful lot of fans in Toronto. We haven't been back there since 2016. It is also a great opportunity for us to continue to serve a really rabid fan base there and continue to bring live League of Legends to them.
Okay, we have a couple more through our global media. There are a question from the EcoSports in China. LoL Esports has been a global event, but the development, especially business development in some minor leagues, can't compare to major leagues. Will Riot help them grow, and how will that happen?
Yeah, I'll talk about this a little bit. So one of the things working in Europe I'm most proud of is we set up a network of national leagues across Europe, which proved to be a really great source of talent for the LEC and for some of the other leagues. So yes, we want to have a focus on the league system that sits a little bit below our professional league for that purpose. That's where we get the best talent. And we have great partners who can activate locally and within their countries, which we don't generally do. So there's good business opportunities as well there.
Hold on.
Just one more question from the global media. There is, for John or Chris, this is from the Click GG. With Worlds being held in 3 different countries, will this affect how teams obtain visas to play in Worlds 2022, or is that up for the teams to decide?
You want to take it, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a global mobility team that works with our teams that have qualified for Worlds. We help them navigate the visa process. We orchestrate that for them, usually in conjunction with national governments as we continue to work through. So obviously going to 3 different countries is going to require 3 different visa processes, but we are prepared internally to work with teams to make sure that we get everyone where they need to be so that they're there in time to prep and obviously compete at the highest level.
Follow-up for Naz and for John as well. So you had a tremendous jump in peak concurrencies, but it was online. So for next year, with the concentration in the U.S. and North America, what are you going to do to try to spike or maintain the peak concurrence? Are you going to do television advertising, or what are your plans around marketing the event?
Sure. Each of our worlds and any of our esports leagues and events, the viewership is predominantly online. There's a couple markets where you see broadcasts on television, but I'd say the over 90% of the viewership, if not more, is happening online. From a marketing and an awareness standpoint, we always start with our player base. Our entire goal as a company and as an esport is to be the most player-focused game company in the world. So it always goes back to that. How are we serving our players? How are we making it great to be an esports fan? So you probably won't see us advertise Worlds a ton on traditional forms of media like television. Mostly we want to first and foremost reach directly to our player base and our fan base, which we can do through our game and through our own channels in pretty effective ways.
Expecting to maintain the level of concurrence you had this year, not being in the pandemic?
That's our hope. That's certainly our hope. Each year we've had our world championship, we've set a record and we've broken that record the next year. So we're pretty bullish that we'll break our own record next year as well.
Growth always.
Brenda, do you have a final question?
Yes, from Di Gomez. This is to Martin. Why not do the competition at the Arena Ciudad de Mexico, where NBA games and other events have happened?
I love it. There's a lot of questions from Latin America. I love this.
Very excited, Mark.
Very excited. So this has been some work that we've been doing with the global events team for a couple of months now. The reasoning behind that is mostly on the operational side. We think that we can have this amazing experience within our arena. And going back to Naz's point just now, the bulk of our audience is online. And the idea is how we bring that amazing experience to every single player in all of the countries in Latam, which are almost 40 of them. So yeah, that's a little bit of the reasoning behind that.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up here with one more question in the room.
Jeff Elder with the San Francisco Examiner. Now, have you guys talked to the city of San Francisco or the travel authority here about what that will look like?
I know our teams are working, yes, with each of the authorities in every stop that we go to. I believe that of our events team, as Chris said, we have a mobility team, we have a risk assessment agency, various partners that we use wherever in the world that we go. So I imagine if they're not already in touch, they will be very soon.
So you're not sure if they've talked to the city yet?
I believe they've been talking to the city, yes.
All right, let's wrap it up. Thank you. We are going to now take a photo with some of our guests as well. So thanks for joining us. And if you want to speak to anybody really quickly here afterwards, we do need a roll, but we'll get you some time with them. So let's do a quick photo. Colin, do you want to? Well, wait. We have a presentation. Christina, is that something we're going to do now or later?
Yeah, we have Chris Murphy here.
Okay. Chris Murphy from the Golden State Warriors is here to present a gift to, I don't know, it might fit John or Naz, I'm not sure which, but...
Naz, I get this. Thank you. Wow, that's killer.
That's amazing.
All right, Chris, why don't we get you in the middle here? We'll take a shot, Chris, in the middle with the 4 of them, and then we'll bring up the others in the room. So,
Let's just stand.
yeah, stand, please. Sorry.
It's like the dad.
Yeah, right. Like standing there. You want to hold it?
Yeah.
Licorice, are you still here, right? Huhi, you guys come up. Let's get Zale and Kobe as well to join us.
Let's go. I'll stand in back. I'll stand behind Nas.
We are going to make all, yeah, it's like, no, no. Like, we got it. All right. We might have to scoot a little.
Do you want me to scoot this?
I might be the only person.
Yeah, I should have stayed in front of
Everybody
John.
else can see right over here.
Can I move the mics down or not? Okay.
Care, there's a phone.
Oh, there's a phone there.
No, leave that there.
Twitter.